John Lawrence. Please stand. He's our current chair of Peace Action Staten Island. But after today, we are going to have a new chair, and I want to introduce you to Dave Poleschuck. Come on up, Dave Poleschuck.
I'm only wearing the white shirt for the press conference. Don't expect this because I'm the new chair. I didn't go as far as a tie. Sorry, Steve. I've been involved in the anti-war and the civil rights movement for almost 50 years of my life. One benefit of experience is seeing that principles matter. Steve has been a principled anti-war activist, environmentalist, and community activist for many years. Now that Fossella is in a moral crisis, we have many opportunists wanting to jump in and campaign for his office. Steve saw that Fossella was in a moral crisis many years ago. We're not talking about his personal peccadillos, but the crisis of a man who supports the right wing, gets money from their lobbyists with no worry about the morals of the issues that he supports. A moral crisis is Fossella supporting an immoral, deadly war in Iraq that has killed thousands of U.S. soldiers and almost 1 million Iraqis. A moral crisis is Fossella supporting illegal long-term imprisonment, wiretapping, and torture by our government. A moral crisis is Fossella supporting big oil in its effort to seize oil in Iraq and supporting it in its efforts to go into Iran at the same time that big oil is gouging the U.S. taxpayer. A moral crisis is Fossella siding with big pharmaceuticals and the insurance companies while life expectancy in 20% of U.S. counties has dropped in the last 20 years because of lack of medical insurance and care in this country. A moral crisis is that the average person's health improves after age 65 in the U.S. because everyone has a single-payer health system, and you won't back it like Steve does. A moral crisis is making gay marriage an issue when you can't even keep your own marriage together. I call on the Democratic National Committee, the local Democratic Party, and all the elected officials who are now considering a race. You must have some principles. We need a principled, anti-war progressive running here, and he is Steve Harrison. 6 years after I went to my first anti-war march when I was 12, 3 years after I got arrested for the first time at a civil rights demonstration in Newark, New Jersey, because they wouldn't hire African Americans in White Castle in 1962, or 1 year after that, 2 years after that, there was a Democrat running who I didn't support, Johnson. I said he'd expand the war, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't vote then, but I was active. I cannot support a Democrat with the same Fossella policies. I don't speak for the group, I speak for myself.